Hello YouTube, hello guys, welcome to another exciting day. Welcome to my channel, welcome to YJ Digital World. I remain your host Abu Joseph. So guys, on today's video tutorial, I'll be walking you through on how to create a fictional flyer design like the one I have on my screen. Okay, this is a church flyer design precisely. Okay, I'll be walking you through on how to go about it. So in this tutorial video, I'll be making use of Photoshop 2023 and carrying out this design project. Please, if you are new to the channel and you are yet to subscribe, do well to smash the subscribe button. Turn on the post notification bell to get notification whenever I upload new content. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys for always watching. Please don't forget to give this video a like. By doing so, it enables the YouTube algorithm to suggest this content to other creative on the YouTube search engine. So in order for me to create this design, all I have to do is to create a new Canva for this design project. So I'll slide over here and click on new file. The new document panel comes up. Okay, over here I'll be making use of the Instagram portrait frame size. Okay, this design will be used on Instagram precisely. Okay, and this is the Instagram portrait frame size. This is set on pixels 1080 by 1350. That is the Instagram portrait frame size. The resolution will be set on 300 and the color mode will be left on RGB precisely because it will be posted on Instagram, okay, and other social media platforms. And after I'm done with that, I hit on the create button. So guys, over here I have my Canva workspace on which the design will be carried out on. Okay, so one of the first phase of this design has to do with creating of the background. But before doing that, I would like to drag in all my exercise files I'll be using for this design project. So over here I have the resources I'll be using for this design project. So the first phase of this design creation has to do with creating of the background. Okay, so in order for me to create this background, I already have an image, okay, of a light bouquet. So all I have to do is to Ctrl T to transform this, hold Alt on the keyboard to scale this up this way, okay, and adjust this position to somewhere around this. After I'm done with that, I click on the OK button. I'll move to the next phase of the background creation, which has to do with adding of gradients. Okay, so I'll slide over here to my adjustment all the way to my gradient map precisely. So on the gradient map over here, make sure the gradient map thumbnail is actually selected, not the max precisely. The thumbnail is selected. Come to the gradient over here, then scroll down on the gradient editor. I've already made a preset of gradient I'll be using for this design project. So over here I'll be using this color. Here's the hex code for the color. I'm using E53107. that is the hex code for the color on this edge, while on this other end here's the hex code 864007. that is the hex code for this color over here. So after I'm done with that, the next thing I have to do is to turn off this. Click on where I have the light bouquet, slide over to my filter all the way to blur and Gaussian blur. So I think this blur bouquet is as good as this. So I click on the OK button. Okay, this is how it actually looks. So I'll turn on the gradient map for this. Okay, so after I'm done with this, I need to add a feel of a noise texture to my background. I don't like my background to be too flat, so all I have to do is to hit Ctrl Shift N on my keyboard. That is a keyboard shortcut to create a new layer. So I'll call this noise precisely. Change the blending mode to soft light, enable the 50% gray option and click on the check. Right click and convert the layer to a smart object. Slide over here all the way to noise and add noise precisely. I think this preset is good this way. Okay, so I can choose to scale it down a little and click on the OK button. That is for the background face. So I'll click on the first layer here where I have the noise. Hold Shift, click on the last layer over here and group this by hitting Ctrl G. So I'm trying to keep my layers more organized. So I'll call this background BG. It stands for my background. Okay, that is for the first phase. So the next thing we'll be working on has to do with the pastor image. Okay guys, so over here I have the pastor image. I will drag and position it to somewhere around here. Please take note, a quick description please. This is not an actual church flyer design. Okay, this is just for tutorial purpose. Okay, so and please note that I always encourage you as a designer that whenever you're creating design for any purpose, you should only make use of a good high quality image. I got this from the web. This is the best I can get from the web. Okay, so I'll manage the image as it is for this tutorial. So I'll right click on this and convert this to a smart object. By doing so, it enables me to maintain the actual picture resolution whenever I scale up and scale down, and also enable me to make subsequent changes on this particular image at any point in time in the design phase. Okay, so I hit Ctrl T to transform. By doing so, the image won't actually lose its quality. Okay, so I think this should be good this way. Okay, so I'll click on the OK button. So after I'm done with this, I need to work on the pastor image. So I'll slide over to filter all the way to camera raw. So over here on the camera raw, I'll be guiding you through on how to sharpen the look of your model image or the pastor image. So I'll enable the before and after so that you have a good preview of how the image looks. Okay, so the first thing I'll be working on has to do with the basics. Okay, so on the basics here, I'll be working on these sliders precisely. So I will work on my exposure by boosting up the exposure a little bit. Okay, the contrast as well, scale it up as well by boosting it up. The highlights, also need to adjust the highlight a little bit. Okay, the shadows as well need to be brightened up as well. Likewise, the whites on this need to be brightened up. Okay, so after I'm done with the white, I move to the black. I'll boost this up as well this way. So after I'm done with that, I will move to the next, which has to do with texture precisely. Okay, so I'll come over here and boost up the clarity for this precisely. I don't want to work on the texture. The image is actually not neat enough, so I don't need to add more texture to this. So for this, I'll boost this up a little. So let me say about 40, about 40 is okay. So I'll usually desaturate my image so that subsequently in the design phase I can do the final color grade and thereby balancing the color on my background on my design with the color on the pastor's face. Okay, so I'll desaturate this to a level that I can still regain some of the actual colors on the face of the pastor. So one of the benefits of desaturating an image has to do with you gaining balance when you are doing the final color grading. Okay, it is better to work with a lesser saturated image, unlike highly saturated image. Please take note of that. Okay, so I'll move to the next, which has to do with the details. Add a little bit of sharpening to this. Okay, I'll boost up the sharpening a little bit this way. Then I'll choose to apply noise reduction by smoothing the textures on the face. Okay, so let me say about this is okay. So I'll click on the OK button. That is for that. Okay, so after I'm done with this, I'll move to the next phase, which has to do with applying of adjustment layers. Okay, so the first layer I'll be applying here has to do with the color balance. So I click on the clip mark so that the effect will be on the model image only precisely. So on the midtones of the color balance, I have to boost up the reds over here. Okay, likewise this, I'll scale this down. So I'll scale this down. Likewise this, I'll scale this up. Okay, that is for the midtones. I'm trying to add more of the orange on the of the background. I need to apply it on the face of the model precisely. So over here on my highlight, I also need to work on the highlight by boosting up the reds as well. Likewise this as well. Okay, boost up this as well. Okay, that's for that. So we are good to go. So next we'll come over here and apply the curve adjustment. Okay, so on the curve adjustment here, all I have to do is to add a fill of highlights. Please make sure it is clip marked so that it will affect only the image. Okay, so after I'm done with this, I need to reduce the highlights precisely on the model image. That's why I'm applying this. Okay, that is for that this way. But I notice that this is so intense, so I'll adjust this a little. Okay, so after I'm done with this, the next thing I have to do is to hit Ctrl I on the keyboard to invert the marks. Pick your brush. Okay, after picking your brush, make sure your brush is set on the soft round brush precisely. Control the strength of your brush by reducing the size, by reducing your flows precisely. Scale up the size of your brush by using the open and close bracket key beside your P button on the keyboard to scale up and scale down the actual size of your brush. So make sure your foreground color is set on white and the black marks layer is actually selected, so you can choose to apply the details this way. Okay, on those highlighted regions this way. Okay, that's for that guys. So after we're done with this, we'll move to the next by coming over here all the way to the brightness. Click on this clip marks again to apply the effect on that. Okay, so after I'm done with that, I'll adjust the brightness this way. So about, let me see, this way. Okay, that's for that. Then this should be boosted up this way. Okay, that is for that. Okay, so after I'm done with that, the next thing I have to do with the grouping. Okay, so I'll come over here, select this first layer here, hold shift, select the last layer, hit Ctrl G to group it and call this the pastor. Okay, call this the pastor. So that is for the pastor image. This curve is affecting this image. Okay, so let me delete this. Okay, let me delete this. So you slide over here and apply a curve adjustment, a new curve adjustment this way. So on the curve adjustment, you create a curve this way. I need to add more depth to the highlights. So I hit Ctrl I to invert the marks. Okay, so scale down the size of your brush and brush along the highlighted region to add more shadows to that region. Okay, thereby reducing the highlights. Okay, on the face. Okay, that's for that guys. So after I'm done with that, I need to add more depth to my background. Okay, so I come over here to the curves precisely, add a fill and add shadow over here this way. I think this will actually work perfectly well this way. Okay, the background is good this way. Okay, so after I'm done with that, the next has to do with placing of other set of information. So I'll come over here, pick my text tool. Okay, over here all I have to do is to start placing in my text. So over here I have the set of text I'll be using for this tutorial purpose. Okay, so in order for me to organize my design and give it a good structure, So I'll come over to the view and enable my guides precisely. Okay, and these are the parameters I use in setting up my guides. Okay, that's for that. So I'll start by arranging the text one after the other. Okay, so I'll come over here, left click and paste in the text over here. For this, I'll change this to semi bold. I'm making use of the Montserrat font precisely, so I'll set this on semi bold and click on OK. This is set on regular, that is under the same font family. Okay, so I hit Ctrl T. Okay, scale this down and position it around somewhere like this. Okay, so after I'm done with the celebration text, okay, I'll move to the theme of the event. Okay, come over here, I'll paste in the theme of the event. Okay, after I'm done pasting in the theme of the event, so I'll cut this out and check. Okay, for this I'll be changing the font to Sweet Beans precisely. Okay, so after I'm done with that, I'll come over here, turn off the caps. Okay, turn off the caps, enable the font bold precisely, and hit the Ctrl T to transform and position this around somewhere here like this. Okay, so pick my text to left click. Okay, pick your text to left click and paste in the other part of the theme. Okay, for this I'll be using the Harrington text, that is the name of the font. Okay, the name of the font I'll be using is called the Harrington. So I'll hit Ctrl T, scale this up and position it to somewhere around here like this. Okay, so after I'm done, I'll hit the check. Okay, come to my character panel over here. In case you don't have yours, you can enable it from the windows and enable character. So I need to adjust the tracking this way. Okay, that is the space between the text on the horizontal axis. So after I'm done with that, I'll come over here. I need to change the fill for this to this. Okay, likewise this I also need to change the fill to this as well. Okay, this is the hex code for the color I'm using over here, FDE 3A5. Okay, that is the hex code for the color I'm actually using on this other end. Okay, the next has to do with the church service time and dates. Okay, over here I'll make sure I select the rectangle tool and create a rectangle of this shape. Okay, like this. After I'm done with that, come over here and enable the fill precisely. So on the fill over here, I'll be making use of this color for this. Okay, here is the hex code for the color DE4236. that is the hex code for the color. So after I'm done with that, the next thing I want to do here is to actually change the blending mode. Okay, for this. Okay, so in order for me to change the blending mode, all I have to do is to come over here and change this to, let me see, I think this will work perfectly well. Okay, so after I'm done with that, the next thing I want to work on has to do with applying the shadows. Okay, so I'll double click on the layer, the layer styles comes up. Over here I'll click on shadows. Let me have a preview of how it looks on this. I don't need it to be too heavy. Okay, let me leave it to somewhere around this. Okay, so I'll leave other settings the way they are as this and click on the OK button. So I'll come over here, left click and paste in my text. Okay, so after placing in the text, I'll hit Ctrl T, scale down the size of the text. Okay, scale down the actual size of the text, check. So I'll come to my character panel over here where I have this and adjust the leadings. So after adjusting the leadings this way, the next thing I want to do is to actually increase this, okay, by changing this to bold. Likewise this by changing this to bold as well. So after I'm done, I'll change the tracking to 0. Okay, adjust the leadings. Okay, that's for that, and drag and position it around somewhere here. Please, this should be above the rectangle, please, on the layer panel. Please take note. Okay, so after we're done with that, and choose to hit Ctrl T, scale this up this way so that the service time can be more visible. Come over here, click on this, right click on this precisely, click the line tool, left click, hold shift and drag down this way. Okay, so after you're done with that, you set your stroke on white precisely. Okay, and your stroke size should be set on 1 pixels. Okay, nothing more, and you left click and drag and position. Okay, so you hit Ctrl T, left click and position it to somewhere around like this on your canvas. Okay, so I choose to scale this down a little, adjust the position. Okay, likewise this. So I'll come over here and paste in the date of the event, check, Ctrl T on my keyboard, scale this down and position it to somewhere around here. Please let your text layer be above the rectangle layer. Please take note of that. Okay, align this to the left, please. Okay, pick your move tool and adjust the position of your text like this. Okay, Ctrl T, scale this up. Okay, come over here on your character panel, adjust your leadings. Okay, so I pick my text tool over here and change this to bold precisely. Okay, and click on this. Okay, Ctrl T, scale this up this way and adjust the position. Okay, so I can choose to reduce this a little bit. Okay, so but before doing that, I hold Ctrl on my keyboard, left click on the rectangle layer where I have this. Okay, you notice my mouse pointer changes to this, left click on this and align the text horizontally to the middle. Likewise, select the service time and align horizontally to the middle as well. Ctrl D to deselect. Okay, so you can see, choose to scale this up a little this way. Okay, so after I'm done with that, select the time layers and group them together. Hold shift, select the last layer of the time and group them together. Okay, so I can call this time and date. Okay, that's for that. So I can choose to drag it beneath this way. Okay, thereby giving it more contrast. Okay, so I noticed that the shadows is too heavy, so I need to soften it up, please. Double click on the rectangle over here to expand this. Okay, I'll scale down this to about, let me say, 5 should be okay for this, and click on the OK button, Ctrl H. Okay, I think I'm seeing the edges of my rectangle properly. Turn on your guides precisely, position the venue of the church over here. Okay, come to your character panel and adjust the leadings precisely this way. Okay, so after you're done with that, pick your text tool and select the first line of text and set this on bold precisely. That's for that, and leave this on regular, the other set of text on regular. Okay, this should be set on 0. That is the tracking, should be set on 0. Ctrl T on the keyboard, you can choose to scale this up. Okay, that is the address of the event, and position it to somewhere around here this way. I think this is actually coming to life. So all I have to do now is to adjust the positions and scale up sizes of text that are needed. Okay, so group this together and call this theme. Ctrl G, call this theme. Okay, so can take this to the same group as the theme. Okay, the rider and the theme should belong to the same group. Okay, so thereby creating hierarchy and contrast among elements. Okay, so that's one of the way you can create contrast, by grouping your text. Okay, by grouping them together to create a form of unity. Okay, thereby creating hierarchy and contrast at the same time. Okay, I think creating proximity has to do with spacing of your text. Okay, as well. So looking at this, it will actually control the eye of the audience. This will understand this is the organizing body. Here's the theme of the event and the rider. Okay, these 3 sets of text should belong to the same family. This should stand on its own. The date and time should stand together. Likewise this. Okay, so after I'm done with this, I'll come to where I have the theme. Okay, I'll click on it, hit Ctrl J to make a duplicate and take it to somewhere around here this way. Check, but I'll delete the rider, I don't need it. Okay, but this time around, after I'm done with that, I'll right click to convert it to a smart object. Okay, I'll take this layer beneath the pastors layer over here. Okay, I'll take it somewhere around here like this. Okay, so I'll change the blending mode for this as well. So I'll change this to soft lights. And scale down the opacity as well. For this, Ctrl T, you can choose to scale this up this way. Okay, and position it to somewhere around here like this. So after I'm done, I'll double click on the layer. Okay, and use this to make adjustments. Okay, this way. I need it to add it to the highlights. Hold Alt in between them, left click to break the slider. Okay, and position this to about, let me see how it looks on the project. Put this off this way. Okay, I don't need it to be highly visible. I think this is okay this way. So I'll make a duplicate by hitting Ctrl J and take the newly duplicated one and place it around somewhere like this. Okay, so I can choose to adjust the opacity to about this. Is okay this way. Okay, that's for that. So after I'm done with that, the next has to do with placing of the pastor's name. Okay, so I'll come over here, pick my ellipse tool, left click and drag out this way. Okay, so after I'm done, I'll change the fill of my ellipse. Okay, so for this ellipse, I'll change the fill to E12804. That's for the ellipse, and I'll enable this way. I'll enable this by selecting the color. Okay, and I have to drag this above every other layer, place it somewhere around here this way. Ctrl T, hold Alt, scale this down this way. Okay, I'm making another duplicate, hitting Ctrl J, Ctrl T, hold Alt, scale it out a little. The newly duplicated layer, take it beneath this way. Okay, turn off fill, double click on this, come to strokes. Okay, on the strokes, okay, these are the settings I use on my strokes precisely. This is set on 32, outside color dodge, opacity set on 100. Making use of the gradients precisely. Over here I'm making use of same color of gradients. Over here I'm using a white, same as at this other end, white, but the difference is in the opacity. So over here this is set on 100, while this other end is set on 50% precisely opacity. So after I'm done, set this on linear, check align with layers. 56 is the angle, set this on 100 and we are good to go. And that's for that. Okay, that's for that, guys. So after I'm done with that, pick my text tool. I'm placing the name of the pastor. Okay, so left click and pasting the name of the pastor. Okay, align this to the left, change this font to Gotham. So I'll change this to Gotham Ultra, italics precisely. So I'll come over here, adjust this as well, and adjust the leadings. Okay, for this I need to increase this in such a way that I need it to be as big as possible. Okay, adjust the space like this. Okay, while for this I need to adjust the size of this. So for this I'll adjust the size this way and thereby adjusting this. Okay, adjusting the leadings this way. So I think I'm good this way. So I come over here, drag and position this here, but please take note, you take this above every other shape layer here. Okay, and position it, Ctrl T, scale down the size, check, hold Ctrl where you have your ellipse over here. Here you have your ellipse, hold Ctrl to make a quick selection of the ellipse. Select your shape, your text layer, align this horizontally and vertically to the middle and deselect. Ctrl T, scale this up this way. Pick your text tool. I still need to make little adjustments to this by adding a few. Okay, adding more of leadings. Okay, that's for that. So I can still choose to adjust the position of the pastor image. Okay, but before doing that, I need to make final adjustments to the size of my informations precisely. Okay, so for the pastor's name, I'll group them together, call this name. Okay, and position it to somewhere around like this, scale this down this way. Okay, that's for that. That's for that, guys. So I'll come to where I have the pastor image, hit Ctrl T, scale this up this way. I think this is too big, so I'll adjust it to somewhere around like this. Okay, so I still need, so I'd like to add more depth to this. Okay, so I'll come over here, add a new layer over here. Okay, set this to my foreground color, set my brush. Okay, so after you're done picking your brush, scale up your flows to about 100, left click over here. Okay, after you're done left clicking, you change this to soft light. Okay, that's for that. Okay, so after you're done changing that, to soft light, you can choose to hit Ctrl T on the keyboard, increase the size and place it around somewhere like this, okay, on this region. Or you can still choose to control the opacity this way. Ctrl J, make a duplicate and position one along somewhere like this. Okay, I think this is actually looking okay this way. So let's move to the final phase of the design by hitting Ctrl Shift Alt E, right click and convert the layer to a smart object. Come to filter, to the camera raw. So on the camera raw, we'll be working on the final color grading. So we'll start with the details precisely. So like to sharpen the image a little. Okay, and reduce the noise as well a little. Okay, after we're done with that, come to effects, add a little grain to this, don't need it to be much, and vignetting it to about, let me see how it looks. I think this is okay this way. So after I'm done with that, we'll move to the final set of color grading. Okay, this is where we'll do most of our color grading. On the hue precisely, I will boost up this a little. Okay, orange, a little feel of orange. The yellows as well to be scaled down. So come to the saturation and work only on the orange as well by boosting it up. Okay, that is on the color mixer. So on the color grading, work on the midtones. Okay, adjust the position, add a lighter value of orange. Okay, and adjust the level of saturation. Okay, adjust the level of saturation like this. Okay, don't need it to be much. You can see the effect on the face of the model and on the background. Okay, so we'll do same over here. Okay, we'll adjust on the highlight as well. I think this is before and this is after, before, after. Okay, so don't need it to be much. Likewise, this is before and this is after, before, after. Okay, so that's for that. Okay, so this is without the camera raw and this is with the camera raw. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's tutorial video. If you do find this tutorial helpful, do well to smash the like button. Do well to smash the like button. If you are new to the channel and you're yet to subscribe, do well to smash the subscribe button. Turn on the post notification bell to get notification whenever I upload new content on my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always watching. Please, if you have any question, if you have a comment, you can leave your questions and your comments in the comment section. Do well to also follow me on my socials at YJ Digital World. So if you're here to join the Telegram group, do well to join the Telegram group. The link is in the pinned comment below. Do well to do that. Okay, and please do well to give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend this content, this video, to other designers, other creative on the YouTube search engine. So thank you guys for watching.